Okay. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Let me introduce myself. My name is Cahaya Ningrum and my student ID number is 23111200025. This presentation discusses a reading journal based on an article that examines needs analysis in English learning materials. The article is significant as it provides a relevant foundation for my thesis, which focuses on analyzing student needs in using picture storybooks for English reading learning. I choose this article because it is very relevant to my research topic, which also focuses on needs analysis in English learning. In this presentation, I will explain the content of the article, the strategies I use while reading, and also how this article connects to my research. This article discusses students' needs toward English learning materials. The researchers use a questionnaire to collect data from students in order to understand what kind of materials are suitable and effective for them. The main purpose of this study is to identify appropriate learning materials based on student needs. I choose these articles because it applies the concept of needs analysis, which understanding this article I can get a clearer idea of how needs analysis is used in real research. Before reading the article, I use pre-reading strategies, which are previewing and questioning. First, I read the title to predict the topic of the article. From the title, I could already understand that the article is about analyzing students' needs in learning English. Then, I made some questions before reading, such as what materials students need, why current materials are not effective, and what problems students face in learning English. This question helped me stay focused while reading and made it easier for me to understand the main points of the article. During reading, I use Will's reading strategies, which are underlining and highlighting important information. I found several key points in the article. First, many learning materials are considered less interesting by students. Second, the materials are often difficult to understand, especially because they contain complex language and lack visual support. Third, students need more engaging and interactive materials to support their learning. So by this finding, it shows that there are still many problems in the current learning materials used in classroom. By underlining these points, I was able to answer my initial questions and understand the main issues discussed in the article. After reading, I use a post-reading strategy, which is reviewing. I check my initial questions again and review my understanding of the article. From this process, I conclude that students need better learning materials that are not only informative but also interesting and easy to understand. The article clearly shows that needs analysis is very important in education because it helps teachers choose or design materials that match students' needs. However, while Reading the article, I also faced some difficulties. There were many academic vocabulary words that were unfamiliar to me, and the sentences were quite long and complex. Because of this, I had to reread several parts of the article to fully understand the meaning. Even though it was challenging, this process helped me improve my reading skills and comprehension. Okay, from this article, I learned several important things. First, needs analysis plays a crucial role in the learning process because it helps identify what students really need. Second, learning materials should not be general, but they should be adapted to students' abilities, interests, and preference. Third, students tend to prefer materials that are interesting, simple, and easy to understand. These points are very important and relevant to my research. And now I would like to explain the connection between this article and my research. This article focuses on English learning materials in general. It explains students' needs, but it does not specifically discuss the use of pictures storybooks as learning materials. This is where I found a research gap. Like, there is still limited research that focuses on analyzing students' needs toward the use of picture storybooks in English learning, especially in reading. And then my research will focus on analyzing students' needs and in using picture storybooks for English reading learning. I believe that picture storybooks can be a good alternative because um, they combine text and images, which can help students understand the materials more easily and make learning more interesting. In conclusion, this article shows that needs analysis is very important to identify students' needs in learning English. Learning materials should be engaging, relevant, and suitable for students' level and preferences. Based on the gap identified in the article, picture storybooks can be explored as an alternative learning material that may help improve students' interest and understanding in reading English. That's all my presentation. Thank you the for attention. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.